The January.
Hello YouTube family, Merry Christmas and a huge Happy New Year to all of you. With the 2026 World Cup on the way, the energy in the football world is already building and we are thrilled to be sharing it with this amazing community. To celebrate, we have lined up some holiday surprises in the Goal 90 shop. A bunch of your favorite jerseys are already up to 50% off. Shipping is on us, and because you are part of our YouTube fam, you can grab an extra 10% off with the code YouTubeFam. Thanks for all the love and support. 2026 is going to be massive. Let's enjoy every moment together. Just last season, Viktor Gyökeres was one of the best strikers in the world. He pushed Kylian Mbappé until the very last day for the European Golden Shoe, despite playing in a more inferior team. He then went ahead to claim the Gerd Müller Trophy at the 2025 Ballon d'Or, an award given to the player with the most goals scored for club and country in the previous season. He proved to be a good old traditional striker who knew exactly where the back of the net was, which is why it was no surprise that he was highly sought after in the summer, with top clubs like Arsenal and United fighting for his signature. Arsenal eventually landed him, and it was assumed that he would be the missing piece of the Mikel Arteta puzzle. In the last couple seasons, it was often said that Arsenal needed a top striker in order to actually go that step further to win major trophies, and when they signed Gyökeres, it felt like they had finally gotten their man. But now, there are doubts everywhere. He doesn't look like the guy we saw tearing it up for Sporting both in the league and in the Champions League just last season. So it begs the question, what the hell has happened to Viktor Gyökeres? To be fair, some fans actually had doubts about Gyökeres from the very beginning due to his style of play, which they thought would not suit the Arsenal way. But the centre-forward role is really all about the numbers, so provided he was able to bang in those goals, they would be fine. Well, he actually has not been banging in those goals as frequently as you would have expected him to. He has managed just 6 goals in 19 appearances for Arsenal, most of which have been pretty scrappy. That simply is not good enough. The reality is that he just has not elevated the team beyond the level they were at last season, which might make one wonder if the €65 million investment has been worth it so far. You can make the excuse that he's moving to a more difficult league and might need some time to adapt, but when you're a team that's on the verge of success and you sign a 27-year-old striker, you won't have that much patience. But the frustration with Gyökeres right now is not just about his apparent average goal scoring, it's much more than that. We'll dive into all of that in a second, but if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, go do that right away so you never miss out on our amazing content. Done? Okay, back to Gyökeres. One thing that's really frustrating about him is that he doesn't seem to try enough. Right now, he's ranked number 34 for number of shots on target in the Premier League this season with just 8. For context, that's as many shots on target as Daniel Munoz, a wing-back, has managed. For total shots attempted, he's down at number 45, below the likes of Riccardo Calafiori. That's just not good enough for the starting number 9 of the number 1 team in the league. If you don't buy a ticket, how do you expect to win the lottery? Arsenal fans continue to demand more from their striker. They want him to impose himself more in the opponent's box and consistently make attempts at goal. I mean, Erling Haaland is the league's top scorer, and he's also the player with the most attempted shots this season. Is that really a massive surprise? You just need to keep trying one way or another. If you don't, you just won't score enough. Apart from his seeming lack of trying, Gyökeres doesn't often make brilliant runs in and around the box. This makes it much more difficult for the players behind him to create quality chances, especially with a lot of teams playing a low block against Arsenal these days. Little wonder why Arsenal's attack always looks slightly better when Merino plays up top instead. The Spaniard knows how to interpret space and take advantage of it. This is why, in 10 games where he has played as a centre-forward for Arsenal in the league and the Champions League this season, Merino has been directly involved in 7 goals. That's more than Viktor has managed in 19 games. As a striker, when a midfielder is fulfilling your attacking duties better than you know there's a real problem. Another area where there seems to be a problem with Gyökeres is in creation and associative play. This was what Arsenal had in abundance with Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. These two know how to link up with players around them and also create for them, and when they did, it automatically elevated the whole attack. With Gyökeres though, much of that is lacking. He ranks outside the top 10 for both key passes and big chances created among forwards alone in the Premier League this season. Of course, that's not what he was brought in for, but when you're not scoring at the required rate, you'd be expected to make up for that in other ways, and the Swede just isn't doing that. I mean, Haaland has created 3 more big chances than Gyökeres this season. That shows you how much he interacts and associates with his teammates despite being the club's main source of goals. And then, When you add the fact that Haaland has also scored 4 times the number of goals the Arsenal man has managed, it puts into context how far behind Gyökeres' general play is. But there's more! The Swedish marksman appears to also struggle with physicality, which is surprising for a player of his size and build. You would have expected him to handle defenders the way Haaland does, but it appears that Gyökeres is often bullied by all types and sizes of defenders. Compared to other forwards in the league, Gyökeres ranks at number 38 for most ground duels won. He has won only 18 ground duels at a pretty dismal rate of 36%. For context, Mateta, who has a slightly similar build, has won 26 ground duels at a rate of 40%. Gyökeres' numbers are slightly better in the air, but considering he's 6'2", it's still not so impressive. He ranks in number 19 for most aerial duels won among forwards in the Premier League at a rate of 39%. For context, João Pedro, who's shorter and not as strong, has won 35 aerial duels at a rate of 53%. So, what exactly does Gyökeres bring to the team? He's not the best dueler, doesn't create enough chances for his teammates, doesn't make dangerous runs often enough, isn't the best at link-up play, and on top of all that, he's not even the club's top scorer this season. Surely Arsenal didn't spend all that money on a high-profile striker to have him tied on goals with Gabriel Martinelli without bringing anything else to the team. At this point, it feels like Arsenal will be better off playing Mikel Merino and Gabriel Jesus, or even Leandro Trossard in the centre-forward position until Havertz returns, because it just seems like these other players offer more to the team's general play than Viktor Gyökeres. And no, we didn't just make this video to berate Gyökeres and call for his head. We're actually a little concerned. What has gone wrong here? Of course, the Premier League is a much tougher and more competitive league to play in than Liga Portugal, so we didn't expect him to put up those numbers he put up last season, but the drop-off seems to be much more massive than one would have expected. We would have said that he needs some time to get used to his new environment, but he already has experience playing in the UK, having played at Swansea and Coventry for a few years. Well, maybe it's the Premier League. Perhaps he needs some time to adapt to the league before he can start to really bang in results. It could also be that the way that Arsenal plays just doesn't complement his best qualities. A lot of these things are just super difficult to comprehend. I mean, how do you even explain Alexander Isak struggling at Liverpool after having dominated the same league, playing in an inferior team just the season before? Meanwhile, Ekitike has come from a foreign league and has immediately started to tear things apart. So, could it be one of those things that are just hard to explain, or do you think you can explain what the hell is happening to Gyökeres? If you can, get in the comments and educate us. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, turn on the bell notification so you never miss out on new content. Catch you in the next one. Bye! Hello YouTube family, Merry Christmas and a huge Happy New Year to all of you. With the 2026 World Cup on the way, the energy in the football world is already building, and we are thrilled to be sharing it with this amazing community. To celebrate, we have lined up some holiday surprises in the Goal 90 shop. A bunch of your favorite jerseys are already up to 50% off. Shipping is on us, and because you are part of our YouTube fam, you can grab an extra 10% off with the code YouTubeFam. Thanks for all the love and support. 2026 is going to be massive. Let's enjoy every moment together.